Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoiler-free review of Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This is an adult literary fiction novel, and it takes place in the 1970s following a Chinese-American family and their struggles after their middle child is found dead. That happens in the very beginning of the book and is also part of the synopsis. I think it actually is mentioned in the first sentence, so that is not a spoiler whatsoever. So this is definitely a family drama, and it follows all of the remaining family members, the two parents, and as well as the two surviving siblings, and all of the events that kind of led up to the middle child Lydia's death. So some of my favorite types of novels, especially within adult fiction, are family sagas. I love learning about a family and their past and how all of the different threads interweave and make usually this kind of messed up family unit, because really, is any family the perfect family? No. So I love seeing kind of all the threads and how all the people's lives kind of interweave into this just big giant mess, and this is really what this was. But I did feel like this particular story did fall a little flat for me because this book was so highly praised on BookTube. I think about a year ago is when it came out, and everyone was just loving it, and just there's been so many good reviews for it. And while I do think this book is good and worth a read, it didn't live up to my high expectations for it, and I have read better family sagas, but let me get into all of that. So the biggest part of family sagas for me is the characters and how closely bonded I get to the characters, because you're following their entire lives and their backstories and their grandparents' backstories and everything, and that makes me really closely bonded to the characters. But with this, I didn't really bond to the characters at all. I felt like this is more of a plot-based family drama. And while there's nothing wrong with that, and I found the plot very interesting, and I was very compelled to keep picking this book up because you do want to unravel this mystery of this girl's death, it still wasn't exactly what I was looking for, because I was expecting to bond to the characters more closely, and I just didn't get that from this. All of the characters are flawed and realistic, but I don't feel that we got enough time with them to really bond with them to where I cared a ton about them. Their story is a tragic one, but I didn't feel a ton of sympathy for them. I was very interested to see what events in their lives led up to the events that we're learning about within the book, but I didn't care a lot about their feelings or how they were reacting to this very emotionally traumatic situation. And honestly, I'm forgetting a lot of their names now, and I only read this about a week ago. Because this book is short and we're only getting snippets of their lives that really do pertain to this death in the family, I don't feel like we got enough time with the characters for me personally to really be attached to them. And that attachment is something I just come to expect and want from family sagas. Where this book does excel though is in the plot. I was constantly wanting to pick this book up, not because of the characters like I would have expected, but because I wanted to know what all these events leading up to her death meant and how they all kind of interacted to make this kind of perfect storm of a situation, and just what happened to this girl and how all of their actions influenced her death and everything else. So it's a really interesting story, and I think that was done really well. There are flashbacks to the kids when they're younger, to her when she's younger, to a couple days ago, to, 20 years ago, to when the parents are dating, all that kind of stuff, and that all is part of the woven story into figuring out exactly what led up to Lydia's death. And I found that all very fast-paced, so as far as plot, I thought this book was just long enough because it provided only the things we needed to see as far as what is leading up to her death. But again, like I said, for the characters, I felt like it wasn't long enough because I needed more from them and a little more substance from them than I got. So overall, I enjoyed the story. I think it's very well written, and I think that it is very well worth the read, especially if you do love family sagas, but it didn't live up to my expectations of what a family saga is to me as far as like character development and character attachment, but I still think it's really well worth the read, and if you don't like family sagas and are looking for more of a plot-based story, this one is definitely for you. This book had a wonderful commentary on expectations and what that means based on your gender, on your race, on where you are in the family as far as first child, middle child, youngest child, stuff like that, and that was really fascinating. And I really enjoyed learning about how those family dynamics kind of influenced everything, as well as those societal dynamics and how that influenced everything, and how, like I said, it made this perfect storm to create this tragic situation. I gave Everything I Never Told You 3.75 out of 5 stars. So comment down below and let me know what you thought of Everything I Never Told You, and if you have any other family sagas to recommend. There are a lot on my TBR. I think 100 Years of Solitude and A Spool of Blue Thread. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but there are a lot that I do want to read, but I'm always willing to get some more recommendations, so comment down below, let me know some of your favorites. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all guys soon. Bye!